Hello, good evening, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Youth Pulley Show. This, in earnest, is our 19th episode. I can't imagine how time flies. We started way back in June 3rd, and look where we are today. We've done 19 episodes of this. Can you believe that? So, I want to take this time to first of all say a big thank you and a big shout out to every one of you who has been following us. Uh, Back to back, Wednesday to Wednesday, who has been getting value from the contents we deliver. Thank you so much for sticking around with us. I also want to take this time to say a big shout out to Biden TV. You guys are amazing. Thank you for the platform. All right, so today we'll be taking a look at the secrets to escaping the capability trap. This is a follow-up to what we did last week. Last week, we talked about the capability trap, and then we made mention of the fact that it is a point where the pressure to get immediate results makes your effort increase unnecessarily and inordinately. What that means is you get to a point where you get involved in so many activities just to get a particular result that may not necessarily make you become the person you want to be, right? But just helps you to get something you want right now. And before I go on to giving you the four secrets we have this evening, you have to be very careful about the activities you engage in. There's a whole lot of noise, there's a whole lot of tension, there's a whole lot of pressure going around, especially for those of us living in the third world, the third world countries. There's a whole lot of pressure, right? Every youth wants to survive, every youth wants to make it, every youth wants to be outstanding, right? So there's the pressure to become more, to do more. That makes youths, engage in a whole lot of activities. And then there's this code word we use, hustle. That kind of understand hustle. So you'll be able to do this also. This will not happen to you, that kind of thing. So the hustling part is not the trouble, it's not the problem, but the problem is when it becomes very extreme. So you find yourself doing a whole lot of things, engaging in activities that sustain your stomach but not your dreams. You engage in activities that sustain your stomach but not your dreams. So the money you make right now is just enough to go around for the time being. Hello, hello guys. There was a little network glitch there, and the light went out. I'm so sorry about that. And I apologize. Okay, so we're going to continue right from where we stopped. And I was talking about the fact that the activities we engage in these days as youths, they actually fall into two categories: activities that sustain our stomach, and activities that sustain our dreams. Activities that sustain our stomach and activities that sustain our dreams. I don't know which activities you're engaging in right now, whether or not they're just in a bid to uh, bring you money that you need right now, or they are going to ultimately help you to become the person of your dreams. But like I said last week, everything you do, you should be very, very intentional about it so that you're sure that every step you make, if it's a job you're getting, if it's a role you want to play, if it is a volunteering service you want to render, you're sure that in the end it's going to add value to you that you will need years from now. That you will need years from now. So let me ask this quick question. Why do you do what you do? If you're teaching in a school, why do you do what you do? Why are you teaching there? If you're working in a particular organization or you're working with a particular group, why are you doing that? Because you have to have a reason. If it's for the money, that money will finish someday, right? In fact, the reason why you keep working is because you're sure that the money they give you this particular month is not going to take you anywhere. So you have to keep working to keep getting the money, that kind of thing. So, but if you're caught up in that particular trap where you work for the money and not what you can become, what you will become eventually, that is when we say you're caught in a capability trap. So how do we escape it? How do we escape it? Ladies and gentlemen, like you've seen on the screen, my name is Fabian Collins, and I am really, really excited to be here with you guys. Every time I sit here and I am talking, I can literally feel the presence of all of you guys watching. For those of us who are watching right now and those who will be watching later, I appreciate and I hope this content I'll be dishing this evening, be of value to you right now and even in years to come. So the first secret to escaping the capability trap is to invest in your capacity. Invest in your capacity. Invest in your capacity. Invest in your capacity. We cannot overemphasize the importance of investing in yourself. If you do not pick up your destiny and run with it, nobody will do it for you. Nobody will do it for you. We know that for people who feel that their destinies are their destiny or their dreams are too big, right, for them, tomorrow is always a better time than today. So you might not say, you might not openly, in fact, you might be joyful when you're telling somebody, this is my dream, I want to become this, I have this plan. In fact, you may even have a strategy, but then you're not really doing anything about it. So when an opportunity comes for you to do something, you're saying, tomorrow I'll do it. Tomorrow I'll do it. Tomorrow I'll get on with it. For people who feel their dreams are too big, tomorrow is always a better time than today. And you should, if you're going to delay anything, you should not delay the investment in yourself, because people who are 50 years old are still getting used to the feeling of being 50 years old. There is nobody who becomes 50, 55 and then so wow, I was like I got here, I was totally ready to be 55. It will still be like a shock and a surprise to them, because aging, people who get depressed because they are like, am I really the one aging? I can remember like a few years ago I was young, active, strong. Now that things I can't do anymore. So I'm saying this to say that there are a whole lot of things you have to do to make yourself better, to make yourself ready, to make yourself prepared for that time. Make yourself prepared for years from now, for the opportunities that will be coming. Because when we say the future is coming, we're talking about opportunities that present themselves years from now. Now, for you to get those opportunities, you have to be prepared for them. You have to be prepared for them, and there is no other way to prepare than to invest in yourself. Attend workshops and webinars, read books, pay for courses that will, improve you and prepare you for your ultimate dream. and prepare you for your ultimate dream. Like I said, there are two kinds of activities we engage in, or two kinds of roles or jobs we take. Jobs that basically put food on our table, and jobs that energize our dream. What you're doing right now, what you're doing right now, if it is not, if it's not something you know will make you better and ready for your future and for your tomorrow, I want you to look back at it again and look at the time you're spending there. If it's something you're doing because you want to get money immediately, right? Then okay, it's fine. Yeah, that's fine. But if you're going to be doing it for a long period of time, then that's where the problem is. That's where the problem is, because you're spending the amount of time doing something you don't love and something that will not ultimately make you become the person you want to be. And the regret we face when we are older is worse than the regret we face now. As youths, we have tendencies to sink into depression when you see other people going higher. When you see other people, maybe you have people on your WhatsApp contact list. You see them post things on their WhatsApp statuses, and you're like, "Oh, this lady is doing amazing." You go on Facebook, you see people dropping, posts and content, and you're like, "This is amazing. This is incredible." And you're looking at yourself and wondering, "Am I really doing something or doing anything at all?" You're looking at yourself and wondering if your life. You might start regretting at that point. You might start regretting the actions or the things you've done at that point. But trust me, that regret cannot be compared to the one you will face 20 years later, when you're still like 40 or 50, when it's almost over and you're like, "Oh, I wish I had taken certain steps. I wish I had taken that risk. I wish I had done this. I wish I had left that job when I." Don't be sentimental about your future, because if you are, right, people will just come and move you. If you do not know where you're going, any road will take you there. And when I say there is not necessarily the point you want to be. There is any place at all. So if you do not know where you're going, anybody can just come, move you, and they'll keep selling their dreams to you, selling their visions to you. And by the time they are done, you become a very confused person. So in my book, Coins of Vantage, which I introduced to you guys last week, it was launched last week, Friday, and by the way, it was really, really amazing. I've never really seen something like that happen on WhatsApp. We launched it on WhatsApp, and it was incredible. The turn up was incredible and amazing, and I want to say big thank you to Augusta Deacon, our moderator, and Ambassador Dion, the strategist. They were amazing people. So in my book, the second, I think that, yeah, precisely the second nugget, I said, offering prayers to escape your inadequacy solves nothing. Offering prayers to escape your inadequacy solves nothing. I have seen a whole lot of youths, especially okay, maybe that depends on where I've been actually. So I know I was in a youth a few months back, and I have met quite a number of people, even in Calabar when I stayed, that they are willing to pray, right? Willing to pray for as long as it takes, but they won't do anything basically to improve their life. Look, prayer does not take away inadequacies, and by inadequacy, I'm talking about inadequacy of skill. Let's take, for instance, there is a job opening, and they said they want a programmer to come in and then do something for the company, and the pay is good, the pay is amazing, say 2 million naira, and you want to get the job. You need the money actually, but you don't have the skill. No matter how much you pray, God won't give you the job. God will not give you the job because he hates embarrassments. He won't take you, he won't give you a job you can't handle. And then by the time you get there and then they give you something to do and then you cannot do, and they ask you, "How did you get here?" And you say, "God brought me here." It doesn't make sense at all. So offering prayers to escape your inadequacy solves nothing. It's either you get up and learn a skill or you forget about it. If you're not skilled, there's no prayer that will take you to the top. There has to be something you can do. There has to be something you can do. There has to be something you can. There has to just be something you can do. So you're telling people you want a job. You're telling people you want a better life. You're telling people you want to get a better pay. Maybe the highest salary you've ever gotten is 40K, or the highest amount of money that ever entered your account is say 50,000, and you want a better life as a youth, right? You've set up your plans and your goals. Maybe you say I want to get married at 28, and you're looking at the clock, your age right now, you're 25 right now, and like 3 years from now, it's time for you to get married, right? So, and things are not really clicking. And then somebody comes to you and asks, okay, yeah, you want a job, you want this, what can you do? What can you do? What can you do? Besides writing and speaking, what can you do? What skills do you have? So I you may say that as at the time you were like 18, maybe you're 25 right now, like 3 years back you were like a star, right? And by that I mean people were celebrating you. You did amazing back then and all that. But this is the check I want you to get. No matter how much you did in the past, it's not a validation that you're qualified for any opportunity right now. People that want to bring you on board do not ask, what could you do in the past? They ask, what can you do now? And what can you offer us now? Any opportunity that knocks on your door today is not asking for the accolades you received years back. So it may be amazing that you in 2011 you were the brightest in your class, you were fantastic, you had a bright future. People gave prophecies that you were going to be amazing, your future was going to be bright. In fact, they said even a blind person can see going to be bright. So because you were doing amazing things, and then an opportunity knocks on your door today, this is 2020, it will not ask about your past glory. It's going to ask about you right now, your state right now, your level of skill, level of competence right now. So what are you right now, and what can you offer right now? The capability trap makes you forget all of that. It makes you forget that, look, you deserve more, you deserve better. So it makes you settle for the survival life. It makes you just accept that, accept the reality that no matter how much you strive, right, you'd always have to, move from job to job, move from job to job, move from house to house. You have the salary, but the salary is not your own. So before the month is even out, you're going, to get things on credit. I've lived that kind of life, right? So how do we escape it? The first is spend time investing in yourself. If you're doing something right now, will not ultimately, make you the person of your dreams now, and they're paying you for it. The trick is ensure you save a part of that money to invest in yourself. You use part of the money to invest in yourself, because if you're working as maybe a salesperson and that is not who you want to be, and then the money they're paying you, you're just squandering everything, it doesn't make sense. You keep being a sales girl or a salesboy. You deserve more. And I'm not just saying that because I want to motivate you. You deserve more. There is room for everybody. Jesus said we'll always have the poor among us. That poor person doesn't have to be you. It doesn't have to be you. You can be the person who will give. You can be the person who will be the supplier. You can be the person whose hand will be on top. A pastor of mine one time told us that the giver's hand will always be on top. When you're giving somebody something, if it's money you're giving and you're doing like this, your hand will always be on top. That kind of thing. The giver's hand will always be on top. Your hand, your right hand or your left hand, whichever hand you're going to be using, can be that hand. You deserve more. But to get more, you have to become more. And to become more, you have to do more. Feed yourself with more. Remember, offering prayers to escape your inadequacies solves nothing. No amount of prayer will fetch you, dream opportunities that you are not qualified for. So get up. Speaking of coins of vantage, if you've still not gotten the book, the oh, I'm still very sorry. Sorry for network is well, very, I'm sorry about that. Okay, so I was going to quickly go to number two. The second secret, I remember I told you there are four secrets. So escaping the capability. And the first one we talked about was investing in your capacity, making yourself better. Now the second one is solicit the help of mentors and professional coaches. Solicit the help of mentors and professional coaches. They are more experienced, and then they are more experienced. So one piece of advice could be the spark you need for your next move. One piece of advice is all it takes. One piece of advice. One piece of advice. The reason why even how do we fully work? Because I was talking to him about working on himself, and he was like, how do I know I am fully worked on? Like I've worked on myself. This is the thing, nobody's ever fully worked on, because that will mean you figured life out completely. So you're like supposed to be God. Nobody has it all figured out. Nobody is fully worked on. We are all a work in progress. Take a look at it as a marathon where there are a whole lot of people on the track, but they're not the same positions. There are people in front, in the middle, at the back. What I consider mentors and professional coaches are those in front. They know what's out there going on in front. But when you're going to pass, they've passed it before. So what makes them better? What makes them advice is the experience and the exposure they have. Do not be afraid to solicit the help of people like that. You need them. You need them. You need them. You can't do this alone. You cannot do this alone, because that's times when you become very tired about everything. It happens a lot, especially during this. There's a lot of tension, a lot of pressure, and just like this, everybody's moving forward. And the more, in fact, one day, one morning, you wake up and you feel like you're like totally figured out. The next day, you're like, this is so hard and so difficult. It happens like twins. So when you were at your point, what you need may not necessarily be getting a job, or it could be just one piece of advice. And now provide and then the direction we go on. Right? So this is where the word of God becomes very, very interesting, very, very vital. It comes in three ways. It instructs, corrects, right? Instructs, you corrects, corrects. So you discover that it's even about that. Okay, so to succeed the help of mentors and approach. One advice from them This is the third time of the network. I am this being out where you are. I know it's really tiring trying to connect all that this is happening. So I talked about like not just travel. The first one was investing in capital, and the second was something that have mentors and professional coaches. That is people who are more experienced, people who are more exposed, you look up to, who admire. And I said one piece of advice from them would be the spark and the direction that we need. We do not have it all figured out, right? No, so do not forget that. Ask questions we need to and get clarity. Third one is measure and track the performance of your processes. Not track the performance of your processes, not do things just like that. Leave intentional. If in this particular month, let's say November, you started out everything you track it, right? So that you'd be sure that 10 years you can look at the year and think, okay, in 20 this is what I achieved, this is how far I have come, this is what these are the number of courses I should have done, these are most of these things you don't keep track. The year will keep coming and going, and we'll keep having new resolutions without any meaningful change in our lives. In his thinking for the job, talk about the it gave us a peek into his preparation pattern every new month. So he said this was he said he prepares 40 days before every new month does start. But he said he prepares 40 days before the new month. So that when that month eventually begins, he already knows where he's going to be. He knows where he's going to travel to. He knows the meeting he already has to have. So what he just does is make plans, smaller plans to fit in to that particular goal of the month, that kind of thing. So prepare very well for going to keep track of performance. Don't read books because you want to read, so you want to have a lot of books in the list. Tell your friends in 2020 I read versus meeting. Read because you want to increase the number of books you read. Read books that you need right now. Read tools knowledge you read right now. In my book, Coins of I talked about it again. So the mistake most of us makes is that we get knowledge we don't immediately need. Knowledge we will not get use. So, but the content of the book is not what you need right now. The content book is something you should have years back or something in the future. So let now a breadth of information and stuff, right? You should learn the things you need right on. Get to find knowledge using right now. So by doing that, you keep track of the things, keep track of your numbers, keep track of how far you've come, the knowledge you've gotten. So this is what I was able to out of and all that. I don't know if you can remember your resolutions you made this year, 2020. Sometimes you reflect on those if you made one by the beginning of this year. And this month began a few days out and to be over. And I'm sure a lot of people started in 2021 already, thinking about how everything's going to be. When the new year is coming, It feels like some distance, something closer that is going to happen. But at the end of the day, when it's 31st January and everybody shouts Happy New Year, and look around, the same people, the same place you are, it was a church you attended, the same people, same instruments, and you step out, everything is just the same. And what has just changed the number on the calendar? So it's 1st January, go back home, and then it feels like you're there again. So you have to start preparing for your year for 2021 right from now. I'm doing that, not saying after the resolution. I'm saying start intentionally from now so that by the time you're beginning your new year, beginning strong, beginning you're knowing well the things you want to do, the things you want to do, the things if you dedicate 6 months to learning a particular skill. I'm not saying not saying pay for 12 courses that teach 12 skills and then you've not mastered any of them because you're learning about independent capacity. You learn very, very like one skill in 6 months, the next 6 months another. But like in 10 minutes, skill talking about skills that can that are unmanned, skills that people have to pay for. When you have that kind of plan, a plan that helps you perform, it will be easy to measure your progress. And that is the whole the third so the first is best capacity, so the mentors, and then while you invest in yourself, keep track of your performance. That's the third one. Engage reflective thinking always. Reflective thinking always. How you're doing or spend quality time reflecting on your efforts, results. Reflective thinking is looking back where you came, where you are, and where you want to be. Something you always have to think about every now and then, and it shouldn't make you feel depressed or make you overly emotional or sad when you look at where you've come from, where you are, where you're going, and then it doesn't really there's no synergy, right? You look the ideal to see yourself in, and then you look at your actual state, see that the difference is very wide, the gap is wide. Especially depressed, it only reminds you that there are things you need to do. There are things you need to do. Right? And then okay, so this is specifically to those of us who know exactly what to do about life. Like you know what to do, you know the steps you could have taken, but resources are not available. For most of us, it's not as if we don't know what we're supposed to do. We don't know the starting, we don't know the process we're supposed to take. That these are the courses we're supposed to take, but the funding is not there, right? For those of you who are in that particular position and you are moving forward, it's not, and you shouldn't give up on yourself. Do not give up on yourself. You shouldn't give up on yourself right now. It is over for you. Keep doing what you have to do, right? Keep taking those steps. If you have to get a job or give you the money, you need to save, to the cost or do what to do. So you're going in there because you don't have a reason. So getting a job with a reason, the strong purpose, right? You know that at a particular time you're going to have to quit because you need the money. You perhaps not money and so that point, because you already know what's going on. So engage, reflective think. Ask yourself, what did I do that got this result or that denied me that position? Am I better Am I better than I was? First I am right now. Am I better than I was days ago? Who talk about me? Do they talk about my present? Or do they talk about my past? They don't refer to me as somebody who can delay or some is that I can be better. And you take on this journey called life. You need it as a youth. You need these questions as a youth. And speaking of pressure and tension, and you have to become more, how do you deal with it? How do you deal with that? Like everybody moving forward, and social media is hard for you to see the side of people they want you to see. The side of people they want you to see. So you see them smiley face in a car or beside a statue, or you see them in somewhere playing and they're saying, I got this award, and you're feeling like if you're feeling left out, that's the stuff them they want you to see. So concluding your real life, an online life, if I'm permitted to put it like that, concluding that your real life, comparing with if you're seeing online, is not worth it. It's a mistake. It's a mistake. You cannot afford to allow the person behind you to distract you from where you're supposed to go. If you're melancholy, depression is like for you. I can relate with that 100%. But you for things you've not gotten, stop you from getting the things you should have to take on. This is when they come. Afraid. Do not be afraid. But if you're caught in the capabilities, you can get out. You can get out. And the first is by being aware that you are caught in this trap. So you look around, you're engaged in so many activities that you basically go home stressed. Right? So many activities that stress you out, but you know that by the time you add all those activities together, will not ultimately make you the person you are. Right? So you're caught in that circle, you're caught in that, you have to get out. The first thing is being aware. So aware, this is where I am. You have to get the first thing you have to do after being aware is look at the options available. So I'm working here, right? One is to not be seen as or less. Spend this money because I want to save it, get something that I know will help me in the future. I'll help my life. Define your reasons. Define your reasons. Define your reasons. So if you want to get points of vantage, that point of vantage, which is actually very free. And like I said last week, it is my to you. You've been following us for a while. I love for you to have it. It's going to spark something in you. Spark something. I got testimonials last week and even this week. Somebody the night it was one of my friends, he said he was hooked. Like it is that when you want to finish because it's going to be inspiring you and sparking up a whole lot of things, sparking up inspiration. And in fact, my open to an idea you always want to start to get this book. I want to say this the link is being sorted out. I'd love to thank you once again for being amazing and I hope we when we return, you get the link to. Guys, will see to WhatsApp group now, the link, and I will really use to get for free. It's been an amazing, so it's been an amazing time, and get that part with today. Next week I will be alone on the show, and we'll be talking about, we talk about relationships and we talk about that on another aspects of self-development. It's actually self-development November for having. Because we want to prepare you for 2021. We want everybody to go into energized, strengthened, and knowledge needed, to thrive. So that's basically it. Shortly. So mention something about TV. Yeah, that's it. It was to be recommended. If you can't write it out, you did a link in the comments. You post it as a comment so you can see it and copy it. Right? So we talk about be posting about TV is I think it's about into people. It's a amazing course, it's an amazing course, and there's more fulfillment and others. There's no amount of fulfillment that can meet that one. Money can't fetch that kind of fulfillment. When you know that someone is going to be doing because of you. So course, one actually, shout out to buying the commission to you. Thank you so much for staying up to this time.
Jesus told us to remember and give to the needy in our societies. It is the period of time again when Abiding TV Initiatives reaches out to the aged that are indigent and give them food items for the celebration of Christmas and New Year.